Hello everyone, and welcome to another video on the channel. Something a little bit different this time. Normally I'll do strategy guides, but I've decided to do some race reviews of my FIA rounds, and we'll see how we get on when we put the strategy into a real live situation. So first up is going to be the manufacturer's race. This was Group 3 at Sardinia Road Course C. Short course, 27 laps. I think fuel was at times 2 and tyre wear at times 10. We had the choice of soft, medium and hard tyres, but the only stipulation was we were to run the hard tyre. So quickly looking at our dismal qualifying performance there, a 52.2. Very, very poor. This was my second attempt at this race. The first one looked promising for about 7 laps and then was ruined, or half ruined and then completely ruined a little bit later on. In that one we had done a 51.8 for qualifying, and had we done the same lap time we'd be starting this race in 5th place. But that is racing for you, and you have to get the job done at the time, and there's no real point in moaning about it, to be honest with you. So have you seen the strategy guide for this one? I did say that if you started near the back you probably want to start the race on a hybrid tyre selection, and that's what we have done. We have the hard tyre on the front and the soft tyre on the rear, which gives us, this is what I found was the best way to run the hybrid tyre selection with the Citroen. Car is way too sketchy if you tried to run a softer tyre at the front. So we are running the hard tyre to get out the way on the front, and the soft tyres in the rear, which gives us good traction at the corners. So bit of action there from the first few laps. You've seen some cars make mistakes, but this instant here was to be my big undoing. So the McLaren just runs wide at the corner, comes back onto the track, into my path. I run into it, and it actually then clips the Lamborghini as it goes off and gives the Lamborghini a 5-second penalty, and to add insult to injury he then gets spun off by the Russian in the Jaguar, who picks up a 5-second penalty for his troubles. And we shall see that Russian driver a little bit later on. I am certainly not a fan of his, because it was because of him that my race was ruined in the first attempt at the manufacturers. So we jump forward here to lap 8. We actually got some clear track after that instant. After the Russian served his penalty, we had a clear track, and we used those laps to catch up with this little group, and we decided to pit at the end of lap 8. So getting rid of those hard tyres at the front and onto a new fresh set of soft tyres. Unfortunately we're right behind these two cars. I think they both went on to soft tyres as well, but I thought the McLaren would be a problem. We tried to get by him early doors. We actually get down the inside of him, but the sheer horsepower of the McLaren is enough to get him back ahead into this tricky section, which is, to be honest with you, single file, so I have to yield. You can see we have much more confidence in the corners than the McLaren. He actually badly holds up for a couple of laps. So coming to the start of lap 12, we've got a run on the McLaren down the straight towards turn 1. We try to scare him out the way, we try to stop. He was taking some very, very weird lines into the slow corners, which was catching me out. So we make a bit of contact there, but no real harm done. The McLaren stays ahead and we file back in behind again for that tricky section. As I said, is single file, but we get a run in the McLaren out the fast right-hander there, and we're alongside into this right-hander, and fortunately the McLaren yields and lets us get ahead. However, getting that done has used up the best of the tyres, so even so we've now got some clear track. The lap time's not brilliant there, but as I said, at least some clear track to get on, and we use that to catch up with 7th, 8th and 9th ahead. So the 4GT, a lot of drivers having trouble. That was a very tricky corner. I found it was much better to sort of just take it nice and safe rather than try and push the limits. So the Ford going wide there allowed us to get a nice move up the inside into the last turn. And into the pits we come. As I said, 10 laps was about the max. I can see a set of soft tyres down, so we have 10 laps left and we shall move on to a new set of soft tyres. The Ford GT behind us also pitting. And we come out into a nice bit of clear track, which was looking very promising at the time. But as we skip forward just about a lap, that clear track did not last for very long and the Corvette of the Belgian is in front of us. Now, this is where I had a bit of a brain fade, it has to be said. Even though I could see that the Lamborghini ahead was ghosted, for some reason, I guess I was just too concentrated, I did not realise he was a lapped car. So as the Lamborghini goes wide, another car going wide at that tricky right-hander, I actually tried to overtake him as if he's actually there. I can see he's ghosted, but too many times in this game I've had a car unghost right in front of me. I tried to actually overtake him as if it was a real car. So we make a mess of the last corner because we caught the curb. And we end up blocking the Ford GT behind us, and this gives our Russian friend here in the Jaguar a run down the outside. Now, there was no way I was letting him pass. So I'm a little bit naughty there. I actually deliberately run him wide. That allows the Ford GT to get back ahead of him. And I'm actually trying to come off the throttle there to let the Ford GT ahead of me to get ahead. But it doesn't work out. He makes contact and that allows the Jaguar to pass me. And as you can see, he just took the normal line there through that section, even though I was in the same bit of track. Guy is a fast driver, but he's very, very disrespectful. He was actually in all 4 of my FIA races that I did this night. I had 2 attempts at both of them. We'll talk about nations a little bit later on. As I said, he was the driver that ruined my race. Well, completely ruined my race in the first attempt of the manufacturers, so I was not in the most generous mood when it came to dealing with him. And I had seen him having a few instances in other races as well. We see them spin the Lamborghini at the last corner in the first few laps of this race to pick up a 5-second penalty. So as I said, he's a fast driver, but he has no respect for racers around him. Anyway, rant over about the Russian and the Jaguar. We get past that ghosted Lamborghini finally, and I'll be honest with you, even at this point I haven't realised he's a back marker. You see, I look behind me here to see where he is, as if I think he's going to make a move on me. I'm not sure if I go defensive into turn 1 here or not. No, we don't feel the need, but he still kind of gets in our way. So up ahead, the Russian driver has bumped the Ford GT off. Again, just showing his lack of respect for other drivers. So we move up into 11th position. With only a few laps to go. So we jump forward there from lap 21 to lap 26. Not a lot happened. We catch up to this Ferrari. We get close a few times, but not close enough to make a move. I think he's suffering from rear tyre wear, but as are we. You can see the rear tyres are pretty dead. This is now lap number 10 on these tyres. Now we've got the close attention of the Ford GT behind, and he takes a dive from quite far back into turn 1. I don't really think that move is on, and he's, even though we left some room in the inside, he bumps us out the way. But we're fighting for 11th and 12th. I'm not going to get too annoyed about that. So up ahead you see a car going off the track, and yes, a bit of karma there. That's our Russian friend in the Jaguar. And a little bit of karma there for the Ford GT. He catches the curb that I did earlier on when I was trying to overtake the ghosted Lamborghini. So we actually get ahead of him as well. We make up 2 positions on the last lap to pick up a 10th place. from 16th on the grid, which is not too bad at all. It was always going to be a fairly messy race, starting that far back on a tricky little track like this. It was always going to be instants into turn 1. There was always going to be cars trying to go side by side into through the middle sector here where it was single file. So not a bad result all in all. We never really got to show our pace at any point. When we did have clear track, we generally had long tyres. But 10th place, we've been up 6 positions. It's 180 points. It's not a disaster. So we shall take it. And that was the last slot of the night anyway, so we had no choice but to take it. So moving on to the Nations Cup. We are in the Mercedes AMG. Seemed to be the preferred car of choice for this track. There's a few Corvettes in there as well, and some Nissan GTRs, but the majority of the field in the AMG. Now we never actually did a strategy guide for this race, we never had time, but the requirement for this one was that you had to run the hard tyre. We had the choice of the medium and the hard tyre, I think. Can't actually remember the settings for the tyres and fuel, but there was a little bit of fuel saving required, not much. I actually think the AMG could probably do the whole race without fuel saving if you didn't rev it too much. So we are on the hybrid tyre split for this one. I think the majority of the field were, which was to run the mediums on the front and the hards on the rear. So we're just settling into the race here. Everybody behaving themselves up until this little point when the car behind me takes a bit of a dive up the inside of me there. Didn't really think that was on, so we abruptly tell him he's not coming through into the next corner, and it's not cost us too much. We're still in the slipstream of the cars in front. Just an unnecessary move from the driver behind. He's not got a lot to gain. If he even gets past me, he's just going to run into the car right in front of us anyway. However, we skip forward a lap, and as we approach the same corner, I had a funny feeling he was going to try it again, so we run him narrow, and he makes an even bigger hash of it and runs into the Lamborghini there. Pushes him off the track. I think he does actually try to stop to let the Lamborghini back ahead, but I run into the back of him and push him ahead. However, Halbstark in the Lamborghini, he's having none of it. He's not happy with his conduct and sends him into the wilderness of the last turn. That allows us to get a run on Halbstark in the Lamborghini, and from starting in 11th place we are now up to 9th. We qualified with a 1:31.5 for this one. I thought it was quite a decent lap, but it was only good enough for 11th. I think a couple of tenths would have seen me starting in the top 5 though. So we used the next few laps, a bit of clear track, to catch up to these two cars in front, and they're now starting to fight. I think the Russian Tony Kart in 7th place, I think he's ruined his tyres and now has the close attention of the PRST driver in the Corvette, and these two are going to battle for the next few corners. It's a nice battle. We get involved here. The PRST driver ran a little bit wide, so we go up the inside, but he just doesn't, I'm assuming doesn't know we were there, then sideswipes us, and that puts us in the outside for this corner, which means we don't quite get the move done. But we try to go deep into the hairpin to go round the outside. I think we're enough alongside to have deserved a little bit more room there, but he turns into us. We're still side by side here. Well, again, we try to go deep in the braking, but much harder to do it in this corner. And we file back into position. A nice little battle, but ultimately all for nothing. And you can see we're actually 2 seconds down on our best lap, so it just goes to show how much squabbling amongst drivers can cost. All we've done there is we've cost ourselves 2 seconds in lap time, and we've brought the cars that are running single file behind back into play. Now in hindsight, I should probably have pitted on that lap there, but I did think that maybe 10 laps on the mediums would be too much. But the time I might have lost in the last lap would probably have been less than what I'm going to lose on this lap here, fighting with these two. So onto the back straight we go, and we've got some pitters now coming into the mix as well. That causes a bit of confusion into turn 4, and we do get up the inside of the Frenchman in the Corvette this time. That's us in 5th place, but obviously it was still a pit stop to make. So we'll take a look down the inside there. It wasn't really an overtaking attempt, we were too far back, but the Russian Tony Kart here, he really is struggling with his tyres and holding us up quite badly now. So we're going to pit at the end of this lap, and I expected Tony Kart to pit as well, and the driver behind. So we get a good run out the last corner. We're in the slipstream. As I said, I expected Tony Kart to peel off to the left hand side here into the pits, but he doesn't, so we do, and the PRST driver is about 2 tenths behind it, does as well. So we were quite clearly ahead of the Corvette there. As you can see, we overtook him earlier in the lap, and if you look at the deltas as we pull in, we're 2 tenths behind, but as we come out, we're actually right on top of each other now. So I have lost out by a couple of tenths there, and we're literally side by side. Now I could have fought this one a little bit, but I decided to just let him go. I was pretty sure he was not going to yield to me. I think he should have. I mean, he should know that I was ahead of him going in, so I've kind of lost out there just in the pits. A lot by etiquette, I'd have let, if it happened, that had been reverse situation, I'd have let him go ahead. But really, I just wanted to get out here on the fresh tyres and make the most of the grip and try and get an undercut on some drivers. So I didn't fight it very hard at all. So we jump forward a lap here. I'm just following him, I'm not trying to overtake him, but we miss our braking point here, and we actually turn to the right there to avoid a collision. I just wanted to add that in. If you realise you're going to run into the back of somebody, you have to take avoiding action. You shouldn't just go to the scene of the accident. I think it's good driving to take avoiding action, so that's why I included that there. And it really didn't cost us very much. It cost me about half a second, but I was still in the slipstream of the Corvette and able to sort of catch back up to the back of him. So a couple of laps further on, we have caught the VFR driver here. I think he started on just mediums and is now on hard tyres, so he's struggling a little bit for pace. The Frenchman in the Corvette has already made his way by, and now we've been stuck behind him for about a lap, but we get a run into turn 1, and really what we're doing here is we're just trying to get him out of position, just make him think we're going to do something, just to maybe force a little bit of a mistake out of him. So he makes another little mistake there, but we're not quite in position to affect a pass, so we're just moving about behind him, just trying to put him off. He goes a little bit deep into this corner, but he cuts it back nicely just to block us off. But it's time for a bit of a dive, and that is a bit of a dive, but it's a good dive because there's no contact. We make the corner, and ahead we go. We had been patient long enough. It was time to get the move done when the opportunity arose, and I think he actually knew it was going to come and had left the space. So not a whole lot happens between getting that overtake move done on lap, I think it was lap 13, and the last lap here. We've got some pretty good pace. We catch up to 6th place here, the Alfa Romeo. We're gaining on the leader over the last few laps as well, but not close enough to get anything done or make a move. And so we're looking at 7th place from 11th on the grid, using the hybrid tyre strategy at the beginning and then moving on to a new set of mediums, and it's worked out quite nicely. But we get a little bonus right at the end there with TX3 Wesson, I'm assuming, are running out of fuel on the line, and so 7th place becomes 6th place. Not a bad result whatsoever. And 225 points to go into the kitty. So, as I said, a little bit of a different video, just sort of reviewing my FIA races using the strategy that I come up with in the strategy videos. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've made it to the end, then all I've got to say is thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.